day 3 of my live trading. Now I'm still in a live trade as we speak. I'm still holding 10 shares of Netflix. I know it sounds funny, right? 10 shares. I mean, it's nothing. But I started with about 50, then went at 75, scaled out, and I'm holding an unrealized profit of about $16. Nothing big, you know. So that means for the day I'll probably end up negative $59 or thereabouts. And I've just been watching it break through brand new highs, all-time new highs, and it'll probably get me at 187 now. So I'm going to finish the day minus about $59, $58 from a low of about 230. So what I've noticed since I went live, so on Monday I only had about 20 minutes to trade, so I wouldn't really count that as a full day, because I literally didn't take any trades except I think 2. I made $19 on them, and then I came back in the afternoon and I made about 400 on Netflix. So Tuesdays, yesterday, I count as a real day 1, so to speak. And what I noticed yesterday and today, so there's a common theme emerging. I lose about $80, $90, or $100 pretty quickly on in my first 1 or 2 trades. And this is between 9:35 or not yet, about 9:35, about 9:45. And then from about 10 o'clock onwards, I tend to be able to make most of that back. Now, I haven't been able to make everything back, and I'm not saying that that's a good strategy to be doing by trying to make up losses, because that certainly plays on your psyche. Much easier to start with a clean slate of having 0 and then working your way up, rather than being minus 230 and then trying to make your way back. Never an easy thing to do, and it impacts your size and just everything everything that kind of that has an emotional effect on you. So not the best of starts the first 2 days, but I knew I was prepared for this. I'm just looking at my monitor every couple of seconds, so just bear with me today, because I obviously don't want to lose the profits I've already gained in the unrealized fashion. When I was trading live beforehand, I was actually losing quite a bit of money every day, like $100, $200, $300. Towards the end of my second attempt at live trading, so this was trading low flow momentum stocks. So something that, you know, wasn't the right strategy. Now this is a much different strategy I've got now, and it's definitely working a lot better. Now I knew there was going to be a big difference between going from paper-based, which I spent 6 weeks on almost, to the real world. I mean, paper-based, you can take a lot more risk. It's difficult to be accountable sometimes, but here obviously it's a real world. I mean, everything counts, and there's a lot more pressure. So, you know, on the one hand, I actually wished I was trading live with people watching me, because I know that I would take less stupid risks and do less stupid things and break less rules. When you're trading on your own, it's a bit easier. Now, I'm going to try something from tomorrow. I'm going to try muting the chat room I'm in, and I'm just going to try trading on my own without any kind of influence or any kind of external disruptions. So we'll see how that goes. So today, let's just go quickly through what I did. You can see I traded. See, to me, I overtraded today by a big margin. I did the same yesterday, so I'm just trying to find my feet in terms of what I need to do. Today I had 54 tickets, which is pretty much double what I would like to have in an ideal world. Now, there's a reason for that. The reason I'm having more trades is because I'm taking really small positions, and I'm either adding to them or I'm scaling out. Whereas before, if I took 200 shares and I probably scaled out in 2 lots. Now, because I'm just so careful, and I think what I'm doing wrong is I think I'm looking still too much at my P&L. Actually, I know I'm doing that. Now, the reason I'm doing that though is because I don't have that much equity in my account, and I know that if I go below a certain threshold, then that's it. You know, lights out, curtain closed. I need to refund my account again. So I'm definitely not wanting to do that, and I think that's definitely having a bearing on the way that I'm acting. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Like beforehand, you know, if I had 5K, which I don't have anymore at the moment. I mean, I've got over 25K, but I don't have 5K over 25K to play with like I used to. So now I've just got to be a little bit more careful, and it's definitely playing on me. So that's why I'm taking a few more trades, but with smaller size. So hopefully, once I can build this up, well, sooner rather than later, hopefully I can get out of this bad habit of taking smaller trades, but more of them, because that's not really what you want to be doing. You want to be taking less trades, but bigger trades. That's really what you want to be doing, and going for the bigger moves. So anyway, speak of the devil. So Netflix, definitely didn't try shorting it today, because silly thing to be doing. Yesterday I learnt my lesson pretty well. Such a strong stock with such great news. It's really, it's hard to find a good entry to short, and there's not enough people shorting it, in my opinion, for it to go down. There's just so many people willing to buy it up. So I had a few entries here. I'll just mark these with my pen here. I had my first entry was here. Now I wasn't looking to play Netflix though, because I missed all of this. I wasn't watching any of this. The thing was though, because I was running out of stocks to look at and try and make up some of the losses on, I saw Netflix because obviously yesterday was very, very hot. And I just kept looking at it. So I've tried this a couple of times. I got in here once, and then I got in here again twice, and I'm selling it in really small lots. So I've got 10 shares left, like I said, and you know it's at 87.16. I got in. My average price is, where's my average price? 85.18. So I'm almost $2 up, which is brilliant. I mean, okay, it's 10 shares, right? So you know it won't win me any awards. I might get a few hot dogs in there today, but that's about it. So anyway, that's Netflix. I don't want to go through all of these because some of them were just silly trades. I mean, for an example, silly in the sense of I'm getting influenced too much by the chat room, and I know that I'm doing this, and that's why tomorrow I'm going to mute it. The only thing I'm going to do tomorrow is go in there, have a look at the watch list, copy that, and actually, you know what I might do? I'm not even going to have it open tomorrow. I'm not going to have the chat open. I'll just see what difference it makes to my trading. I've got a feeling it'll be a positive difference, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. Now, AEZS was the low float stock. Now, I know I said that I don't want to be taking these, but I'm just so tempted, man. I'm just so tempted to take these alongside the guy in the chat room. And I know that this is so stupid because, you know, I said to myself that this is where I lost $10,000 on, because I did. You know, in 2 attempts to trade live, I lost $5,000 once, and I lost $5,000 another time, and it was all trading low float momentum. Mind you, I was still learning a lot, but that was the key strategy. I know, I'm just watching what's happening here with Netflix. All right, you know what? I might just sell this. All right, I got out. All right, so my final position for the day is minus $60, $61. Okay, so I told myself I wouldn't be trading this simply because they're risky, right? And I just have to get better discipline because I just feel the need, you know, to be, you know, trade sometimes. And I know it's FOMO, but I know that having the chat room off is not gonna influence me. So I got in here twice. I wanted to get in here once, and I made a loss. And then again tried to get in, again made a loss. That's 2 trades. And then the third trade, I got in again here, expecting it to break $2, which it did. And I was waiting for it to get to about $2.10, and I would have sold. I had 200 shares. I would have sold half when it got to $2.10, but it never got there. I mean, it got very close, and I was in Netflix at the same time. I was watching it, and in the end, it came back down again, and I sold for a little loss. I think it was $7 or something, wherever it is. Long AEZS. It's not this one. Maybe it is this one because these are the 3 trades. So that was AEZS. Now, CBay is something I wouldn't normally be trading. So once again, tomorrow I'm going to do things differently. CBay, I tried to short this prick. I'm sorry. But, I mean, I'm looking at this myself now. An hour after the trade, I'm thinking to myself, why would I be shorting this when it's got such long wicks, which are showing indecision? I mean, yes, it's under the VWAP, but really the only good decent indicator, and this is really pushing it, is the fact that the opening 5 minutes that the candle closed red, because the subsequent candle is such a big doji or spinning top, you just don't know which way it's going to go. This is indecision, so this is taking a bit of a gamble, really. And I have to stop doing this. And I think from tomorrow, I'm just going to be a lot more picky in terms of what I trade. So I'm going to trade solo tomorrow. And I got squeezed out here for a loss. Now, how much was that CBay? $14. So, you know, they're not major, but once you add them up, you add up AZS, $27, CBay, $14. That's 50 almost there. You know, the small losses are definitely having an impact. CSX, apologies, CSX. CSX I made a little bit on. That was actually quite a good trade. We're looking back on it. I got in here twice and I covered in 3 different lots. The point was it broke VWAP support. It was below all these averages as well, and I mean this was a good sign of weakness. The fact that it kind of rose up pre-market and just bang started slamming downwards. That's always a good sign of a sell-off, and it continued right to about here, to $51. Now, something else I'm beginning to learn, that I've got kind of tunnel vision. I'm looking at very small, short time frames, and even though I mark you can see these, I mark the daily levels on using the daily charts, I still am really focused just a small amount of time on a small time frame. I'm not looking enough at the big picture. What I'm trying to say is this. It is much better to be saying to yourself, okay, if this is breaking down, we're getting as it breaks the VWAP, and yes, we have a target set as the first one, but let's look at the bigger picture, right? Let's look at realistically how far this could potentially go based on previous history, right? And you might end up with, you know, that 51 is a figure, is a number where, you know, previously it held support or resistance at. And you might say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to get, you know, tunnel vision and try and take little tiny profits, which is what most day traders do or what I do. Let's try and wait for the bigger move, right? So the whole point of me moving away from these little bitsy tiny trades, and a lot of them, to a few but bigger ones is something like this. It's this kind of awareness, right? So don't just take little tiny profits here, but give it time, and you have to be more patient. So that's what I'm beginning to see, that I need to learn to be a little bit more patient with my setups. Anyway, I've got 3 minutes left, so let's go through these. So this was CSX, FSLR. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm just shaking my head. I'm shaking my head thinking, why on earth was I in so many stocks today? And the answer is because I'm searching for a way to make up the losses. It's very simple and clear. It's a lesson. It's a difficult one to take, but it's something that I know will make me better at this game. I tried shorting it here as a break VWAP and the 9 and the 20, but I covered because it just shot straight back up. I tried to do it take 2 and I covered again. So the point being here is some stocks, if you don't get a good feel for the action, don't trade them. And, you know, the lesson for me here should have been, okay, you tried shorting it once, it bounced back really strongly like a magnet. Don't try and short this again until it shows a lot of weakness, right? So that's another key lesson here. Netflix, we've talked about. SNI, shaking my head again, thinking, why am I in all these different freaking stocks? Shorted here, covered here. So this wasn't too bad. It broke the VWAP, and the target was the 9 moving average, which is this line here. And then it was the 20, which is this line here. Then I shorted again here, thinking it'll get to the 50, which is a green line. I added to my position, which is something I've been doing, and I covered. Don't know why I covered here, just silly. I know I covered. I covered because I was just scared, and I was keep looking at my P&L. So this is all interlinked, guys. Everything is interlinked. You know, if I didn't have that loss of $82 today or whatever it was, and then that followed by another one, if I wouldn't be down whatever it was, 160, 150. Actually, I don't think I was down that much. I think I was about down 120. But my maximum loss is 100 per day, right? So I really should have closed my platform down. So I can very easily see how going from a sim to the real world, how my lack of discipline in the simulator is affecting me in the real world. And it's just uncanny. The good thing is I'm aware of it. And that is really good. I know when I'm losing my discipline. I know when I'm getting emotional. And that's a really good sign, because, you know, anyone, any alcoholic, any drug user will tell you that as soon as you can admit or acknowledge you've got a problem and be aware of it, that's when you can start kind of fixing it. So that's where we were with that. Now, the last one, and I'm running out of time, is VRTX. Really big gap up pre-market. Very interesting stock. I tried shorting it, and once again, same with Netflix like yesterday. don't try and short stocks that are really up on good news. I mean, you may get a little tiny move down, but it won't be anything sufficient. So this was forcing it. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye.